Boy Green Daily, the Jets won a free agent war for Kalen Saunders, a two-time Super Bowl champion. We'll talk about it. What teams the Jets were competing against. Plus, the Jets made a quarterback change. All that more. Boy Green Daily starts now.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets. We're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. We have an article in the YouTube description down below. Make sure you guys like the video. We appreciate it here on the program. All right, I see we got a bunch of comments going. Again, we'll talk about the Jets' newest addition, Kalen Saunders. We'll talk about the Jets' quarterback change, decision ahead of the Baltimore Ravens game, or as Taylor Sterling suggests, perhaps a conspiracy. Have any official Jets sources said anything about the quarterback situation, or is this just Rossini and insiders? You know what, Taylor? You're probably right. This is all fugazi. Aaron Glenn's going to come out on Wednesday and say, just kidding, it's Justin Fields. You insiders don't know what you're talking about. Taylor, I think you're onto something. I think it's a big conspiracy theory, a whole lot of nothing. That's absolutely what it is. Sure. But we'll get into that in just a minute. By the way, the poll, we put up a poll immediately on YouTube. Again, everybody, I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. This is a daily New York Jets video show. We have a poll up on our social YouTube, Did the Jets make the right decision benching Justin Fields for Tyrod Taylor? I just want to put that out into the universe. Again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Just want to park that over there. Feel free to interact with it while the show's going on. But I want to start with Jalen Saunders. An intriguing guy. I'm going to be honest, okay? So the first report that came out is from NFL insider Jordan Schultz, okay, on Kalen Saunders. And here's the report. I have it right here. Kalen Saunders has received strong interest from multiple teams. The teams include the Baltimore Ravens, the Indianapolis Colts, the New York Jets, and the Arizona Cardinals. He was released by the Jaguars last week. He'll be taking visits and is expected to sign soon. Jordan Schultz reported that at 1:09 p.m. yesterday. I'm like, whoa, the Jets are in the mix. But I'm like, look at the teams the Jets are competing against. The Baltimore Ravens, who they play this week, they're 5-5 and the favorites to win the AFC North, so that seems unlikely. The Colts, Colts, man, they've been awesome this year. They have one of the best records in football. Only 5 teams in football have 2 losses. The Colts are one of those teams. So I'm like, ugh. Now, the only team that made it feel good, you're like, oh, well, the Cardinals suck too. So, if those are all the teams that are in the mix, all showing interest, I'm curious where the Jets stack up, because if Kalen Saunders has any desires of winning this season, playoffs, I'm not sure if he's going to find that here in New York. But, hey, Kalen Saunders chose the Jets. Hopefully this is a good little optimistic nugget ahead of free agency. Who would want to play with the Jets? Well, Kalen Saunders apparently had multiple options, multiple choices, including playoff teams. He said, no, I'm good. Yeah, I'll go to the Jets. So Kalen Saunders to the New York Jets. And for those who don't know, this is a former 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, we've gone down this road before. Derek Nottie, we signed in the offseason. I believe Derek Nottie was a 3-time Super Bowl champion. And we're like, oh, this is going to be great. And, well, Derek Nottie didn't work out. We had to trade him back to Kansas City. We had to slap the return to sender on the left cheek of Derek Nottie back to the Chiefs. So basically what we're hoping for is a much better version of Derek Nottie for Kalen Saunders. Now, the name Kalen Saunders may not mean a lot to a lot of people if you just hear that name. But if you were to know him and say, well, that name does sound vaguely familiar. Last year on Monday Night Football, the New Orleans Saints, he was a member of the Saints last year. We'll get into sort of his bio in a second. He was a member of the New Orleans Saints, and they're playing the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Remember, Saunders started his career with the Chiefs. Okay, he played his whole 4 years there. His rookie contract there is, I believe, he was a third-round pick, and he played his 4 years there. Contract expires. He signs a big money deal with the New Orleans Saints, a 3-year deal, $14.5 million. Really, really good money for Kalen. And in the end zone, Juju Smith drops the ball. The ball bounces up in the air, and Kalen Saunders palms it one-handed. You're like, whoa, okay. Big man. He's 6 foot, 300 pounds, 320 pounds. Like, he's a big man. Instead of just, like, catching the interception, taking that knee in the end zone, he went, oh, hell nah. I'm moving and grooving. And his fat ass was going down, breaking tackles all over the place, returned it for 36 yards. So Kalen Saunders has a little bit of movement to the big fella. So that's great. Obviously, the Jets need defensive tackle help. You trade away Quinnen Williams, who we'll get into later. He made his debut last night for the Dallas Cowboys. I wrote a piece about that this morning. You guys can also check that out on Heavy on Jets. We obviously needed defensive. We needed it before Quinnen left. So, shoot, with Quinnen leaving, of course, absolutely. Of course, they even needed more help. Harrison Phillips has been very nice. I've enjoyed Jawan Briggs, but the Jets need some more Brutus Beefcake on the inside. Now, the other curious thing here about Kalen Saunders, right? So twofold. One, the Jets were able to beat out the Ravens, Colts. They beat up the Cardinals. Doesn't really feel noteworthy, but still, they did beat them out too. He's the 84th overall pick, third rounder in 2019 was Kalen Saunders. But that Kalen Saunders chose to be with the Jets in the middle of what is a lost season. Both that Saunders chose that and that the Jets chose to add somebody. Now, Saunders in his career has appeared in 70 games. He's made 32 starts. He's 29 years of age. In his career, he has 6.5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 17 quarterback hits, 6 pass deflections. He's totaled 184 tackles. And again, that interception I just talked about, where he went big man on the move, which was awesome. I love that. That went viral. But it was interesting that both the Jets at 2-8 pursued Kalen Saunders and that Saunders chose the Jets with the options available. What the Jets are going to get is a good look at this young man for this season, and then, or the rest of this season, rather. And then if they like what they see, they can bring him back, obviously, for 2026. William Aimley saying, I guess that means Mozzie Smith isn't working out. The train is derailed on the old Mozzie train. I guess there is a possibility that's true, William.
I'm going off the rails on a Mozzie train. There you go.
That is possible, or which I can't accept or deny. I don't know. This Mozzie train's only been on the Jets tracks here in New York for a small period of time, so it's hard to judge. But we'll see. Again, as if you heard our RJ Ochoa full deep dive breakdown on Quinnen Williams, he's the Dallas Cowboys insider. He was a throw-in in the trade. Adonai Mitchell apparently was not a throw-in. The Jets demanded that he was in the deal or they wouldn't do the deal. That did not happen with the Cowboys. And according to RJ Ochoa, acquiring Quinnen Williams, they needed a spot on the roster. Mozzie also plays defensive tackle. So it just sort of made a lot of sense to say, hey, Jets, you need a defensive tackle. You just traded one to us. We need a spot for a defensive tackle with one coming in. Let's just swap. Here, you take Mozzie, we'll give you all those picks, and we'll take Quinnen. So we'll see. I don't know. We have the rest of the season. They employ a rotation, so we'll see what happens. For sure. But again, Saunders, very interesting to me that he chose the Jets and that the Jets chose him in the middle of this season. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But I love it here for Saunders. He's a big man, and man, he has had some intriguing playing time. So with the Chiefs, through his first 4 years, he played basically on average about 34.5% of the defensive snaps for the Chiefs when they won the couple of Super Bowls. And that's very nice. And then he had a massive uptick, which makes sense because the Saints paid him a lot of money, a 3-year deal for $14.5 million. He was playing about 50% of the snaps for his 2 years in New Orleans. Now, this offseason in August, in a very rare trade, the Saints executed a deal with the Jaguars for a player-for-player swap, just straight up. Here, this guy for that guy. That does not normally happen because of contracts and value, how you perceive value versus how they perceive value. So he got straight up traded to the Jaguars for center Luke Fortner. And then obviously he was cut last week for the Jaguars. So intriguing player, nice. Throw him on the defense. And again, the recruiting chops of one AG, getting him away from a couple of playoff teams. Terrific. We'll see what happens there with Kalen. So excited for him. Now, let me see. Let me dive into some of the comments here real quick, and then I'll get back to the quarterback conversation. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Alon, oh, that's not nice. Kalen Saunders, really, BG? He's a tomato can, and def not the main brand. Glad Quinnen decided to show up and play football after taking months off. By the way, good morning to most. Wow, there's a lot to unpack here, Alon. Like any conversation I have with you. A tomato can. He's been better than that. That's not nice. Kalen Saunders has been much better than a tomato can. If he was a tomato can, then why were 4 teams chasing after him? That doesn't make sense. And on Quinnen, we'll get into Quinnen later. But I wish Quinnen the best. To be honest, I'll be candid. It was weird seeing him do his sack dance in the blue and white for the Cowboys. That was weird. A little bizarre, quite frankly. And Indianapolis, in a different version of blue and white, Sauce doing it before the bye. So, yeah. Yeah, that was strange. Taylor Sterling, we need Dallas to win enough so we get the better first-round pick, but not too much so their second rounder is more valuable. They're in different years, Taylor, so actually no. The better first-rounder is 2027, so nothing they do this year matters at all for that future first-round pick. So really, if you're a Jet fan and you're just trying to root for the better pick, you want Dallas to implode and lose. Now, they didn't look like that at all last night, but no, that doesn't affect it at all. It's 2027, and that's the difference between the Packers team and the Cowboys team. So it's down the road, young man, down the road. Nothing to do with this year, Taylor. So don't worry about that. You just want them to lose. It's not complicated. You just want them to lose for this year. Let's see. I saw Taylor at another comment. I want to make sure I get to it here on the program. Yes, let's set this up. BG, I'm not saying the reports are wrong. I'm saying I don't give a shit about what Rossini or Cimini says. I wait for my coach to tell me what's going on. Okay? I'm not sure I understand then, because if a lot of reporters like Schefter, Cimini, everyone in the universe, it wasn't just Rossini. Like everyone then echo chambered it and confirmed it. So you don't give a shit about the reports, and then you're like, nothing. And then AG's like, I'm making a quarterback change. Ooh. Like, okay. Hey, fan how you want to fan, Taylor. Taylor Sterling on our YouTube channel. Fan how you want to fan. That's fine. But a quarterback change is happening. Happened. Also, here's another confirmation, I would say, is another confirmation, I would say, also is that several teammates, including Jeremy Ruckert, said on a Zoom call yesterday that Aaron Glenn informed the entire team that a benching happened. So that's another one. Alon here says, BG, remember the name Travis Jones? It's a true target for the Jets going forward. Yeah, I heard that on the stock exchange Fix the Jets. They highlighted him, a Raven, and we'll see him this week. So yes. Taylor Sterling saying, BG, I'm saying so they don't get a higher pick next year or this year. I'm very confused, Taylor, on what you're talking about with the draft. Again, they've got the Cowboys 2026 second. So they want the Cowboys to suck as bad as possible for that to be the best pick possible. In 2027, which has nothing to do with this year, that's next year. Whoever sucks more between them or the Packers, we win because we get to get the better pick either way. So I don't think those things are directly correlated. Anywho, let's get into the quarterback decision. Okay. Let's get into the quarterback decision. And again, that's our running poll right now. Did the Jets make the right choice? 95% yes. And hey, folks, if you've listened to the show, I've said it. I like Justin Fields, the guy, but if that's the first thing I'm saying, that's not good. It's like saying, it's not a bad personality. Justin Fields has had 4 games this season in which he's thrown for under 55 passing yards. He has had 5 games in which he's thrown for under 117 passing yards. Not only is that not winning football, that is not evaluation football. That's awful, bluntly. And the Jets had to make a change. Now, here's the information we don't know. to Taylor Sterling's point, right? I'm going to wait for my coach. Well, I'm waiting for coach too. He speaks on Wednesday, tomorrow. Is Justin Fields QB2? Is he QB3? Are the Jets signing Brady Cook to be the new backup? Like, what are they doing with Justin Fields in terms of placement? Because there's several follow-up questions. Will you use Aaron Glenn won't answer this, but I'm asking it to the ethos. Will you use Justin Fields in a running package, like have a package of plays? I would. If I'm Tanner Engstrand, hell yeah, I'm freaking paid $30 million guaranteed. Hell yeah, you're getting your ass back on the field. So I'm using Wildcat / regular cat, whatever you want to call it, quarterback sweeps, read options. I'm having all kinds of crazy ass plays for Justin Fields. But again, it's in a package of plays. It's not, geez, that's everything because he's our quarterback. So Tyrod Taylor's a guy for the Baltimore Ravens revenge game. That's great. But I'm, excuse me, it gets me emotional. Let me get a quick Gatorade sip here. Yes, thank you. I'm making Brady Cook the backup. Let him marinate as the backup. And Justin Fields QB3. Now, Justin Fields ain't getting cut in the middle of the season. That would surprise me. So he doesn't even have to be emergency QB3. He's on the 53-man roster. So it's not even as if you need the first two guys to get hurt to use him. You could use him as is in terms of creating a package of plays. So that's what I would do. That's what I would do, personally. So I'd keep the thing alive with Justin. But here's the thing. Justin is obviously younger, more athletic, dynamic as a runner than Tyrod Taylor is. That's true. But to be candid, Tyrod Taylor should be a better passer. Tyrod Taylor ain't going to be throwing for 55 yards on Sunday against the Ravens. That, again, would surprise me. I think he has a better chance to throw for 150, 200 yards maybe. And that's 200 more yards of Adonai Mitchell and John Mechie and Mason Taylor and Breece Hall and blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing. Tyrod, we know this story. We've read the children this book at night before bed. He gets hurt. So you better have that QB2 ready. And if you're choosing to bench Justin Fields, again, we'll hear the verbiage of one Aaron Glenn. I assume this isn't a mini timeout to figure out his bleep. I assume this is a permanent change. And if this is a permanent change, then you don't want a one Tyrod Taylor injury, which happens all the time, away from immediately being thrust back into the lineup. That's just sort of weird, man. We're going to Tyrod. He's injured. Okay, Justin, get out there. What? Huh? Who? Huh? I see. So this was the right decision by the Jets. I'm curious. You guys can continue to vote on the poll, of course. But this was the correct decision for the New York Jets to make. Plain and simple, the God-honest truth. Justin Fields was afraid to throw the football. And when you're afraid to throw the football, well, that's difficult to come back from. When you're afraid to play the position, and the coaching staff is afraid to call it because they can't trust you, well, that's where it's all broken. Now, I don't have any grandiose images of Tyrod Taylor suddenly becoming our 36-year-old franchise quarterback. I don't. But things, as I wrote in my Quentin Williams piece, which we'll talk about before we get to the phone lines, everything in the world is not black or white. It's not this or that. It's not yes or no. There's gray that exists everywhere, all over the place. And so it's not Tyrod Taylor, franchise quarterback, bust, he sucks. There's gray. He's better than Justin Fields from a throwing perspective. It's a Seinfeld scene. Why am I not in there? You're worse. Much, much worse, George. That's it. Justin, you're much, much worse. But again, use some of that running. I would do that as well. But Tyrod Taylor's a guy. We could get some of your guys' thoughts in a little bit. We got a couple hundred people in the room. Let me throw this up here on the big board, baby. An autographed Marty Lyons jersey. We're giving this puppy away. You want a chance to win it? Send in your raffle tickets, baby. They're $3 a piece. I suggest you all get one out there in the audience because if you have one ticket, you got a chance. We've had people with very few raffle tickets win our prizes before. It's random. It's randomly picked. It'll be on December 1st. We're over halfway through the month, so you're running out of time to get your raffle tickets in for this beautiful autographed Marty Lyons jersey. This comes with a certificate of authenticity. Shout out to the Marty Lyons Foundation, where I purchased this jersey. And he autographed it to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Autographed on the bottom are all those wonderful accomplishments that Marty Lyons had accomplished during his career. Not only a college football Hall of Famer, but a Jets legend and part of the New York Sack Exchange. And this was going to be the only prize that we gave away this month, but shout out to our guy Carl, baby. Look at this, a accompanying autographed hat from Marty Lyons. Both come with a certificate of authenticity, tag still on. So a Marty Lyons gift bonanza. Terrific. We'll be giving that away on December 1st. Again, if you want a chance, hit the YouTube. Go over to YouTube. If you go down to where you comment, you're like, oh, what's this money sign? Click on that. And then there's super stickers, super chats, gift channel memberships to thy neighbor. And there's a lot of ways to do it. Again, $3, 3 George Washingtons for a jersey autographed and a hat autographed. Like, come on, man. You can't beat that. 100%. Fox Sports Talk giving the love to Carl. Carl's great. That was nice. Super nice maneuver. Super nice gesture by one Carl. That was super cool. So I appreciate that. Just throwing that in the raffle. Said, oh, what, you're doing a Marty Lyons raffle? I'm in. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now let's get to Quinnen real quick. Let's get to Quinnen. Let me go. My father, I'm sure you guys are curious. Let me see. My father, a Dallas Cowboys fan, you know Hop on Pop. He texted me last night and had a message for the Boy Green Coffee Club. Let me pull this up here. Where is his message for the Boy Green Coffee Club? Where is it? I know it was in here somewhere. Maybe I passed it already. He had a message for the Boy Green Coffee Club. Where is that message? Maybe we texted too much last night. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here you go. Okay. It's from my father, right? Paul Eston Sr., Hop on Pop, Dallas Cowboys fan, on the performance of Quinnen Williams last night. Message to the Coffee Club. It's from Pop. Yeah, Quinnen Williams is definitely washed up. He has exceeded his stats for 1 year and 1 game. I agree. It was definitely an F grade. The Cowboys received an F grade from ESPN Seth Walder on the trade. It was definitely an F grade for fucking fantastic. I'm not calling you out, but there were members of the coffee club talking trash. So let's highlight a few things. Thank you, Pop, for that very heartfelt and touching message to the Boy Green Coffee Club. I'm sure they appreciate it. So I've got the story here. Okay. So Quinnen Williams, in fact, in his debut with the Dallas Cowboys last night, because the Cowboys had a bye. I know the trade deadline was several weeks ago. But the Cowboys had a bye immediately after the trade. So being Quinnen Williams, just been waiting around to make his debut, which was a couple, he's been sort of sitting on it. And Quinnen Williams, in fact, did have one of the best games of his career immediately with the Cowboys. Here are the numbers. Okay. Quinnen Williams finished the game with 1.5 sacks and a career high 5 quarterback hits. He's never had a game with 5 quarterback hits before. He had it. Not only was this a great game for Quinnen in his own respective career, but Quinnen Williams had one of the best defensive games that a Dallas Cowboy has seen. Let's go to this stat. Shout out to NFL Plus. Quote, in his Cowboys debut, Quinnen Williams forced 5 pressures in the first half. That's tied for the most in any half by a Cowboys defensive tackle in at least 7 years. Williams and Osa Odighizuwa, God, I wanted him so bad, combined for 11 pressures on the night. Shout out to Next Gen Stats. So not only was Quinnen awesome for his own career, okay, he was terrific for any Cowboys defensive tackle over the last 7 years. So my father, with the grade F for fucking fantastic, as he likes to say. So Quinnen Williams had one of the best games of his career. Now, I want to say a few things. Okay. Now, I was not one that said he was washed at 27, but some of the coffee club members did. I'm not going to name names. That's not the kind of guy I am. But I'll tell you this. I thought that there was 2 paths for this to go. And the most likely path in my mind when Quinnen was traded to the Dallas Cowboys was that his flame would be rekindled. He admitted in his introductory press conference for the Dallas Cowboys that the losing got to him. He's like, It was obvious. How couldn't it? We're losing. It affected me. And as soon as he was traded, new opportunities. Now, the Cowboys, when they traded for him at 3-5-1, that's not much more winning than the Jets were doing, but still, it's a new location, and they've got their franchise quarterback. Obviously, Dak Prescott. The Jets have not had any Dak Prescotts in their recent history, or at all history, if we're being candid. So I thought that Quinnen Williams' flame would be rekindled, and that's what we saw. And here's the best contributing factor that Quinnen Williams made in the game. Sure, he had 1.5 sacks all season long. In 8 games with the Jets, he had 1 sack. He had more than that in just the game last night. How about this? For quarterback hits, right? He had 3 all season for the New York Jets. He had 5 in the Cowboys game. He had more sacks and quarterback hits in 1 game with the Cowboys than he had all season with the Jets. Incredible. And I'm happy for Quinnen. But I think, and again, I mentioned this earlier, right? Black and white, right or wrong, winner, loser. We talk about that. To me, I think this was a win-win. It was a win for the Cowboys. It's a win for the Jets. Let me explain. The Jets don't have a quarterback. And without a quarterback, you ain't doing shit. Nothing. Sip and pip. Nothing's happening if you don't have a quarterback. So what the Jets did is they traded Quinnen. They traded Quinnen for the opportunity to get assets to attempt to find that quarterback. So for the Jets, they had no choice. Plus, if we go even beyond what I just said, Quinnen wanted a new contract. The Jets weren't willing to do it. And then the relationship apparently got so bad he wouldn't have re-signed anyway. So the Jets had no choice. They had to trade him, and they got a wonderful haul. Okay? So that's that. And then you go to the Cowboys side, right? They give up a 2 this year. They give up a future first. They're trying to go all in. They're going in a different direction than the Jets. The Jets are going all in towards the top of the draft. The Cowboys have a chance at the playoffs. They're 4-5-1. There is a path now to make some noise. Now, they got to go do it. They got some tough games coming up. The Eagles, the Chiefs. We'll see what happens with the Cowboys. I know Jet fans are going to be rooting for them to implode. And, hey, all the power to you if you want to do that. But I think this was a win-win. We don't like to say win-win often, but I feel like that's what this was. The Jets needed picks to go get a quarterback. The Cowboys need a defensive tackle. And again, I think the biggest contributing factor that Quinnen did last night, and he did do all those wonderful statistical things, I think he opened things up for everybody else. Everyone was like, oh, shit, we got to keep our eye on Quinnen Williams. And he opened up things for Osa Odighizuwa, Overshown. I mean, just everybody on the line was feeding off of Quinnen being there. So I think he had an intangible impact as well that goes beyond the stats. So I think everyone made the right decision here. Quinnen Williams was clearly disgruntled. He clearly wasn't playing up to snuff. He only had 1 sack in the year all year for the Jets, only 3 quarterback hits. There's some other numbers that were fine. He had a couple of forced fumbles this year and other nuggets. There's other things that Quinnen Williams did this year for the Jets. But clearly the flame and the passion and all that was wavering with the Jets. And they were able to get a wonderful draft haul for Quinnen, and now he's rekindling that flame and killing it with the Cowboys. God bless Quinnen. Rooting for the best for you. Terrific. And here's the thing, because I caught some flack on this on social media. You can root for Quinnen, and the Cowboys can still lose. I'm rooting for the person. I'm invested, man. He was the second longest tenured player on the team outside of Thomas Hennessy, our long snapper. We all, I won't say we all, but a lot of us have Quinnen Williams jerseys. He was a former first-round pick. He was a former first-team All-Pro. He had outside of his rookie year, which was questionable, and people were like, bust alert, with 2.5 sacks. He had at least 5 sacks in every year of his Jets career, not including this one because that season never finished. So you take out the current year and his first year, he had at least 5 sacks in every year. He just had a floor of just boom, boom, boom. He was a captain, a leader, a blah, 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 blah for Quinnen. So happy as hell for him. I'm going to keep rooting for him. Again, a lot of you out there don't have to do that. It's up to you to fan how you want. But really happy for Quinnen. But again, I feel like this is a win-win. And, of course, I thought that he was going to immediately have a career game with the Dallas Cowboys. So there you go. There you go. Let's do this. We'll open up the phone lines. Again, your quarterback decision. Quinnen Williams thoughts, perhaps. Kalen Saunders. Jets Ravens coming up this week. It's all on the table, baby. Let's open up the phone lines. And if you'd like to call in, that is youtube.com/BoyGreen25. Make sure you guys do that. Again, make sure you guys like the video, okay? Make sure you guys like the video. That's a free way to contribute to the show. We have over 100 people watching the show on YouTube. That's your favorite place to watch because that's what we're growing, baby. We're trying to get to over 10,000 subscribers here on the show. That is what we're attempting to do. But we only have 42 likes, but over 100 people in the room. Don't be, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't be, hesitant. Don't be selfish. Don't be holding on to your likes. No, Paul, I'm not going to give you a like. Come on, man. Hit that gosh darn like button, baby, here on YouTube. As my father likes to say, take that like button to Pound Town. Make sure to do it. It's a free way to contribute to the show. That's how this Jet show gets in front of other Jet fans, which helps grow the audience. So feel free to do that if you guys can, if you're watching the show, if you're enjoying it or not, even if you're hating it. I'm fine with a hate like. People hate watch. Got that Boy Green guy. Super annoying. Like. Appreciate that too. All right, let's do this. We'll play a quick HEP timeout, and then we'll welcome your phone calls next here on BGD.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone,
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green.
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Let's go!
Welcome back, everybody. Boy Green Daily. Shout out to Hep for singing that beautiful jam. I appreciate that. That was from our tailgate, which, again, we're going to be doing every year. So if you guys want to go to the next Boy Green Coffee Club tailgate, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm sure we're going to be talking about it here on the show. Or join the Boy Green Coffee Club. We'll be talking about it certainly in Discord and giving you guys heads up on the app of all the things that'll be cooking here in the very near future. Sorry for some of the technical difficulties that have been happening here on the show today. It doesn't make any sense. I'm literally by myself in the house. No fiance, no children, no nothing. No one else is tapping the Wi-Fi here, so I have no idea what the hell's going on here. So we'll try to continue to power through whatever issues that may have occurred so far on the show, and hopefully better things to come from that perspective. Let's go to some of the comment section. NC Green, BG, he quit on us even though we continue to pay him. Of course, that's how it works. You guys have to continue to pay him. I don't know if I would say quit on us, although some people say, hey, look at this play or look at this play, and they thought he was dogging it or this or that. I don't know. But I'll tell you this, clearly he admitted that the losing was certainly getting to him, which caused a lot of, action here for people that bothered them. Jared B. I'm not rooting for him or any other ex-Jet. Again, you guys can fan how you want to fan. That's totally okay. Yo, Holmes, I'm rooting for a Cowboys player. Nope. Okay. That's, different strokes, different folks. Totally fine. He's the enemy now. All right. That's fine as well. Hennessy Heisman says, so now after we select our two players, do we revisit this conversation? No. Again, I want to reiterate this. We're on people will that compare the trades, but we're on separate timelines now. We're in a different multiverse. What the Quinnen Williams Cowboys do is their own thing. If they win a Super Bowl, that doesn't make the Jets an idiot for trading him. He didn't want to be here. So God bless. Go win a Super Bowl. I don't care. Obviously, if they lose, we get a better pick. So we're probably not rooting for Super Bowls, but it's a different multiverse. If the Jets' first round picks hit, that doesn't mean the Cowboys blew it. The Jets are going this way. The Cowboys are going this way. So people will naturally revisit it because of trades and grades and all that stuff, but I don't think so. One more thing here, two more things here. Then we'll get to the phone lines. Jerby says, what it really shows us we should have drafted a defensive tackle in the deepest draft ever. Yeah, I mean, yes. I totally was on board with taking not just one, but multiple in this class. We had such a massive need, and we didn't. Now, it works out. Juwan Briggs is a young player, so he's basically like a draft pick, so he's very good, and you know what he is, so that's nice. Harrison Phillips has been a nice team leader for the Jets, so we'll see where that goes. But yes, they absolutely, that was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I don't know why they didn't, with a clear and obvious need. Super chat shout out here from Hennessy Heisman. He's been a member for 13 months. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Okay. I remember when the Seahawks liked Jamal Adams after a game, who, by the way, we saw him last night too. Two former pillars of the Jets, Jamal Adams and Quentin Williams on Monday Night Football. Isn't that a beautiful thing? So, hey, okay, we'll see how it develops, I suppose. We'll see how it continues to move and groove. We'll keep getting to your comments, keep lighting up the comment section. We'll get back to those a little bit, but let's go to the phone lines. We got our boy Rob here to kick us off. What's up, Rob?
Hey, what's up, Paul? How are you, bud?
Yeah, it's been too long. What's up, pal?
Yeah, long time no see. Hope everything's well with you and the fam.
Appreciate that, man. And same to you and yours.
Good to see everybody in the chat too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Two quick points though. Hennessy brought up a good point. You just talked about it. No matter what that trade had to happen, it was definitely worked out for both teams. I don't care what happens in 2 years from now, regardless of the situation. As of right now, it was a great trade for both of us. Number one, the dude completely gave up on us. He was dogging it the whole year. He asked for trades numerous times. He didn't want to be here. It was clear and obvious. So you know what? You got to send them out of town. Send a message to the rest of the team. If you don't want to buy in, you're out too. Because at this point, well, everyone last year was talking about this quote unquote retool. It was never going to be a retool. We needed a complete rebuild. I don't care what anybody tells me. We overrate our talent more than any other franchise I've ever seen in the NFL. Secondly, well, I guess that's basically both of my points I really have, because like, you know what? I could see you. Listen, to each his own. You want to root for Quinnen? That's absolutely fine as a player. You know what I mean? I hate the Cowboys. I hate anyone. I really do. I hate the Cowboys, and now I hate the Quinnens on the Cowboys. But I can't root for him, because you know what? At the end of the day, if he would have done the right thing and not, like, dogged it or stop trying or even like buying into AG's system, then I have a little more respect for the guy. But I completely lost respect for him. Like, if you saw his brother on Thursday night, whatever that, our last game, on those couple plays, he was going nuts, having the time of his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that, just between that, it just made me furious. It just showed the difference between the both of them, between the brothers. Like, Quinnen's out here dogging it, and you got Quincy freaking, he played well that night, and it's just a shame. I feel a little differently if he went out in a different way. I think is the best way to put it.
Well, I would just say one thing here. The one thing that I think all Jet fans should blessed be he about Quinnen is this. So you mentioned it, right? You're privately, apparently, requested trades on 3 different occasions, saying, get me the hell out of here, get me the hell out of here, get me. But the good news is we didn't hear about that till after the trade. And if he would have Jamal Adams did and said, fuck everybody, the Jets fucking blow, get me the hell out of here, I don't know if we get back a 2 and a 1. I don't know if we get back a second and a first.
I mean, but listen, Paul, 2 plus 2 to me always equals 4, right? So like him on the field, his play on the field showed me exactly what he wanted. You know what I mean? I didn't need to hear it from Rich Cimini or Diana Rossini or whoever. I don't care about that. I could tell on my own that he wanted out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't hard to tell that he didn't want to be here. So, you know what? You're right. He didn't make a big hoopla in the media, which is actually, I respect him for that. But like on the field, I could tell he didn't want to be here. So to me, it's the same thing.
Fair enough.
But at the end of the day, it was a good trade. Hopefully it works out. And just for the last couple games, though, I don't even think it's a question, like that poll you put up. Like, obviously, Justin Fields is completely washed. He's been washed. we were just hoping for lightning in a bottle. You know what I mean? At that point, when we took him, but at this point, you got to play Tyrod, and then the last couple of games, let's see what Cook could do. Let's see if Cook could cook, and then you see what you have for next year. You're gonna
Yeah.
draft a quarterback no matter what, so you might as well just see what you have in Cook, because who knows if Tyrod's gonna play or not next year? He'll probably retire after all these injuries.
Mm-hmm. There's a strong case to be made,
You
Rob.
know, it's just. Let's see what Cook could do. I really wish they kept Martinez, to be honest, but Martinez wasn't their guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why they obviously took Cook over him. But that's a different story. At the end of the day, I wish Quinnen well. I really do. I don't have to root for him. I don't have to
No.
root for the Cowboys. But I think it was a great trade for both teams, and I don't care about 2 years from now. Like you said, we both won right now.
100%. Rob, thanks for the call, brother.
Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. Good to see you, bud.
There he is. Rob rejoining us on the program. Appreciate that. Whether, again, first-time caller, long-time caller, or it's been a hot second, feel free. That's youtube.com/boygreen25. Appreciate it. Again, fans can fan however they want. I don't think it's right when we tell other fans how to fan and do it this way, do it this way. For me, I'll be rooting for Quinnen, the person. And if he has individual success like last night, I mean, it was weird at first seeing, again, the Quinnen dance. I'm like, oh, something just does not feel right about this. It's sort of weird. But I'm like, hey, man, good for you. Bless myself. There you go. That was a random ode to Quinnen Williams for no reason. So, you know, good for Quinnen. But again, for me, the part I'm happiest about is that he didn't go public. Now, Jamal went public and we still got 2 firsts, but I still feel like when you go nuclear, that just tanks the value of players normally in outside of rare circumstances. So I am glad for that perspective that we did get, Quinnen out of here. He wanted out. Jets got him out. We got a great haul. A lot of people were debating on what the Jets could get back for Quinnen. I don't think a lot of people thought a 2 and a 1. So God bless. Take care. Fastest food reviews. We have a super chat coming in from our guy, Chef Kevin Gilbert. Super chat. Let's hear from my daughters, Ryla.
Wow.
G and Rob V doing some early morning cooking. Let's go Jets. Ooh, BG Rob V. Okay, there's some rhyming going on there. Maybe something to explore in future times, perhaps. But there you go. Appreciate you, Chef Kevin Gilbert. You're the one who's always cooking out here. Will Brady cook again? Maybe we'll find that out coming up on Wednesday. Excuse me, during Aaron Glenn's media availability. We'll see if, in fact, that's coming around the corner. We'll keep an eye out for that. By the way, Chef Kevin Gilbert, you now have 3 raffle tickets for our contest this month. Appreciate you, pal. Thank you. All right, let's go back to the phone lines, and thank you, Chef, for sending in that super chat, baby. Much appreciated. Up next, TS. What's up, pal?
What's up, BG?
What's going on?
Just appreciate the love earlier today. A couple clarifying remarks.
Yeah.
One, just like the insignificant one about the Cowboys schedule. I was talking about we want them to have a bad record this year so that second rounder is high.
Yes.
But we don't want them to jump us in this first round. So if they lost out and we won a couple games, then they would have the higher first round pick.
Oh, now I see. Oh, yes. Now I see what you're saying. I'm sorry.
So I'm okay
I
with the
wasn't picking
Cowboys
up on
winning
that.
some games against the Raiders.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay, there you go. Now I got you. Fully understand now. I understand. Thank you for the clarification there.
And then the other thing, like, I wasn't trying to refute or say there's some kind of conspiracy with the reports coming out about the quarterback benching.
Okay.
My thing is, who does it benefit that we know 48 hours early about a quarterback benching before our coach says so? It only benefits Samini and Rossini. These people are not our friends. They don't work for the Jets. They don't have any vested interest in the Jets doing well. They have actual vested interest in us doing bad. And it's like muscle memory for them to write negatively about the Jets. So they're just waiting for us to lose a couple games so they can pounce.
Yeah, I guess it's more so, if anything, I guess for us that we're doing the show right now, knowing the fact that a quarterback change happened. Yeah, I suppose so. And then the Ravens, I guess, sort of knowing, although I don't, again, I don't know how much sleep was lost with that. But if again, I say it again, if AG thought he was getting anything from it, I don't give a shit. I know the media was making a big deal of it. I don't care if AG thinks he was getting something out of it. God bless, great. Who cares? Why should that matter to us? So sure.
Yeah, and I'll let you go. I just want to say those things.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate that. TS, Taylor Sterling, joining us here on the program. Appreciate the point of clarity. So, yes, I don't, to be honest, though, I don't think the Cowboys, especially with their tie thrown into the mix, regardless of what happens, they were going to win. If you look at the Cowboys schedule, and again, maybe some people don't want to do that, but if you look at the Cowboys schedule, I don't know if there's enough wins to get into the playoffs, but there's certainly not enough losses where they could leapfrog us in the draft. So I now understand what Taylor was referencing, but I don't think there was any world where that would have happened anyway. So I think we're all good in terms of that rooting perspective. Let's see. I see this comment. I just want to get the other side of it. Chris Van Pelt 221 says on YouTube, trading Quinnen Williams was the stupidest trade. Wilkes is a problem, and so is Glenn. I don't think. Okay, if you want to have this chat about Sauce Gardner, there's a case to be made. Sauce is 24, right? Quinnen's 27. So, like, if you're trading Sauce, and obviously the Jets feel this way, that he no longer fit their scheme. What's the best way to say this? Because I don't want to just trash and say, clearly, like, Sauce wasn't a fit here. The Jets also got offered 2 first-round picks plus for Sauce. But obviously, as they saw him in their new defense over the last couple of weeks, months, they were like, they thought it was this, and clearly it wasn't that, or he wouldn't have been traded. So there was a little bit of that. So if you want to go stupidest trade, this was a problem, that's it. But again, I don't think that pertains here, Chris, quite frankly. I don't think so. I don't think Wilkes is the answer either. We did a whole show yesterday. I think he's going to get fired. So, I don't know. He did want to be here. So, back to the phone lines. Up next, we have Bubba Badshaw here on the show. What's up, Badshaw?
Oh, not much. I was going to congratulate your father because I heard last night Dallas knocked off the Super Bowl contender Las Vegas Raiders, and they clinched a first-round bye in the NFC. So congratulations to him. Or at least the way he talks, that's what happened last night.
Oh, that's good.
I think somebody said this in the chat. It might have been Let's Go Holmes. I don't wish anything bad on a Jets player when they go somewhere. But if they go to New England or Dallas, fuck them. Like, fuck them,
Okay.
But, and I like Quinnen. And when we went to the tailgate, I think that was the most jerseys I saw were Quinnen Williams jerseys.
I bet.
I think didn't he have a Quinnen jersey on?
Ooh, I believe so. I think you're right. Yes.
Of course, that's the only jersey that my wife owns, so we're going to have to get her.
Oh.
She was telling me the other day we're going to have to get a new one. But
okay, what's on her list? Does she know what she wants, or is she open to interpretation?
She likes Quincy too. She likes the whole brotherly thing. She likes
It's a little risky with him being on an expiring deal, but I like her keeping it in the family. I can respect that. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to go with a Nick Folk jersey. I think that's going to be my next jersey
classic.
I get.
Classic.
But I don't know. She likes Namath, which I want her to get something a little different than everybody else. You see so many people with Namath jerseys 100%. And stuff like that. So anyway, we'll see. That's TBD. But and maybe you can clarify this because I picked it. I've heard your dad say something along the lines of this the past couple times he's been on, and I think I might be misunderstanding him.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have swore the other day, twice, 2 different times that he's been on, that he said, "We are the worst franchise." in history. Now, is that
Jets?
in a yes? Now,
Okay.
what did I hear that wrong? Because I was about to go off if that was the case, but I'm like, I feel like there was more information than what I heard about that. I know something got said about the Cardinals the other day, about how we were worse than the Cardinals, and I didn't know. He said something about franchise, and I was like, okay, there's a lot of fucking teams that are worse than the Jets if you want to go back in history, and I can start naming them if we need to. But I wanted to give him a chance if that's not exactly what he was intending to say, and maybe I misunderstood him. But we are hands down not the worst. We've had some bad moments, but there's been some teams riddled with bad moments over every decade of their existence. So, I mean, anyway.
Yeah, I would say first off, he could have said that in a rant. I can't confirm or deny, so I'll let him speak for himself when that happens. I would also say that if you look, there's 32 teams in the National Football League. There is like, again, I haven't done this trivia game in a while, but there's like 12 teams that have never won a Super Bowl. The Jets
I
are
can
not
name every one of them.
Okay, there you go. And I could, if I had a sheet of paper or something, or I was just riffing them off to make sure I don't miss any. But there's somewhere in the ballpark like 12 teams that have never won a Super Bowl. The Jets are not one of those 12. So I wouldn't agree that they're one of the worst sports franchises ever. Now, if you want to argue most snake bitten, the crazy ass shit that happens to Jet fans compared to everyone else, sure, we could have a pretty open dialogue about Aaron Rodgers' Achilles exploding, butt fumble, and this and this. I mean, geez, Lou. Like, when I hear Bills fans going, geez, this is terrible. I'm like, do you even know, man? Do you even know what terrible looks like? Mr. MVP over there? The Jets have never had an MVP in their history. Not once, okay? And you've got the reigning MVP. So Bills fans smoke a pack. And by the way, like New England, this little 5-year stupid drought they were on, apparently, they're like, oh, that was the worst. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? We're on year 15, you bastards. So, they had to have a quick 5-year hiatus, apparently, between dynasties. Oh, sorry, New England. Oh, that must be real terrible. So, other fans have no fucking clue. But I would say, for snake-bitten, cursed, that sort of thing, sure. We could have a strong case over what's happened to the Jets over the last 20-some-odd years. But, no, like, just straight-up worse? Nah, I don't think so.
Well, and I don't know, like, you can say Super Bowls, and some people may be like, well, they're like the Browns, for instance.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
They've been terrible in the Super Bowl era. But prior, like, literally, like, 2 years prior to the Super Bowl era, they were clapping everybody's cheeks. I mean, they got Otto Graham out there doing his thing. And so I don't know when you start, like, when you draw the line, because then you can say, like, well, Cleveland, Detroit, some of these other teams do have, their version of a Super Bowl back then. But,
I'm sure that pisses off Browns fans, right? Arbitrarily, we're like, 1966 is the first Super Bowl ever. Here you go. Brad's like, but wait, we just had like 12 in a row. Sorry, chickens.
Exactly.
Those don't count. Those are made-up championships. You can hang a banner, I guess, if you want, losers. And now we're like, oh, Cleveland, one of these teams that haven't won a Super Bowl. Jaguars, Texans, Lions, Bills, Vikings. And you go through the whole list of all those teams, and Panthers, and all these other teams haven't won a Super Bowl. And then all of a sudden you're like, Brad, sorry, you're a loser. They're like, but we won 12 NFL championships. And we're like, sorry, those don't count. Yeah, those fans must be really pissed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I know sometimes, and this has been an argument, like in the AFC East, they're like, well, the Bills have been to 4 Super Bowls, so does that make them a better franchise than the Jets? And I'm like, but we still have the ring. Like, we still
100%.
finished. We finished, man. Like, we finished it. Like, I don't know. Like,
and that's one of the most rememberable. That's not a word. That's one of the most, like, iconic Super Bowl wins of all time. People reference Super Bowl III all the time. There's certain Super Bowls that we just like pretend they didn't even happen, but they happened, and we don't reference them in lore and history. And like Incel Alon in here says, our Super Bowl so long ago it doesn't count. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm sure. Again, if I was a Bills fan, I'm sure that's what I'd be saying, because I have no other defense. Yeah, you have one, but who cares? It was like 50 years ago. Oh, when was yours? Oh, never? Oh, I'm sorry, Buffalo. I'm sorry. That must suck. So, you know what? Screw those people. It 100% counts. The Lombardi's still in the building, for God's sakes. I'd like another one at some point before I'm dead, but I'm glad we have at least one. Yeah.
Paul, we literally set the tone for the AFL. Like, They didn't think it could be done until we did. I mean, the Packers slapped around the Chiefs and the Raiders in the first two Super Bowls. So, yeah, I don't want to hear yeah, that doesn't count. It was so long ago. And I probably should have brought this up on a Friday with Bob on, because Bob would be like popping one off right now. Like, this is his kind of shit. So, anyway, maybe we can get him on
question. We have a question from the chat. Havmo, our boy Havmo, says, is this Bad Shaw pre or post Hardee's right now?
Dude, I have not had Hardee's this week, and I am feeling it. I know, man. We're going to Carolina Friday.
Oh, right. Yeah, Indy, Philly, all those folks.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be. We celebrated our anniversary a little late, so I'm gonna be eating. We're gonna stop at Nashville Friday night and eat at the Detroit Cowboy, which is like which, Paul, I know you're kind of picky, but those out there that love lobster, this is the biggest fucking lobster tail you'll ever eat in your life.
I've never had lobster. Yeah.
So that's cool. Then we're going to go. I don't even know where we're eating at in Carolina. I know we're going to eat at the Biltmore one night. So that'll be kind of cool. But I'm trying to, not overdo it this week so I can, I'll be pounding it. And I'm sure there's a Hardee's in Carolina. I will be getting my Hardee's breakfast in Carolina for sure. But, sadly, no Hardee's today, fellas.
Are you going to be in North Carolina or South Carolina?
I'm going to be in North Carolina. We're staying in Asheville. And then on Sunday, I'm going to drive to Charlotte to the Dilworth Grill and hang out with Indy and Philly and all them. And I think Indy said there's some other guys that are going to be there. I think there's another content creator maybe going to be there.
Cool.
I'll be sure and let them know. I got your back, Paul.
All right,
I'll let them know who the number one
is. Please do. Yeah, and pelvic thrust in his general direction. I'd really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, I just hit it with a Google search. You'll be happy to know there are approximately 204 Hardee's locations in the state of North Carolina.
Hell yeah. So there is hope. There is hope. And so
there is.
We will definitely, and hopefully too, there will be a lot of pelvic thrusting this next week.
A lot of pelvic thrusting.
Exactly.
A lot of pelvic thrusting.
So, but yeah, man, I'm going to try to call in Friday and talk to y'all and Bob and whatnot. And I appreciate you having me on, buddy. And we'll see you in a few days.
There he is, Badshaw, baby, and he can go after my pop for whatever the hell he said, apparently. We're going to have a lot of Boy Green dailies together with my dad. I am flying out on Thursday night. I'm going to be doing Boy Green meets Woody from an airport. We'll see how that goes. That should be a trip because I'm going to South Bend. I'm going to Notre Dame for the first time, the Mecca. I'm going to Notre Dame for the first time in my life. With my old man. He raised me a Notre Dame fan, and we're going to go see Notre Dame football. They play the Syracuse football team, and so we're going to see Notre Dame. We're going to see Syracuse. That's on Saturday at 3:30. I'm going to fly in on Thursday, so we're going to spend a couple days, and then I fly back in on Sunday. So we'll keep you guys posted on Boy Green Daily for Sunday, the watch party and stuff for the Ravens game. Because of travel, it's going to be sort of up in the air, but we're going to figure it all out. So I'll keep you guys posted. Stay tuned to all the different things, and we'll try to keep you guys updated on all that jazz. But so I'll be flying back in on Sunday right before the Jets game. So we'll see how it all works. Luckily, I'll still be able to watch a Jets game, but will I be able to get home in time to do the watch party and stuff? TBD. But hopefully so. I love doing it. It's been a lot of fun this season. So thank you. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Bunch of people waiting here. Here we go. It's Easy.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Well, you giving some Herbie Hancock action?
No, I'm just filling out some paperwork. I was just at the dump. First thing I wanted to mention was Dan Campbell's idiotic 7 times going for it on 4th down on Monday night on Sunday Night Football. That was ridiculous. First of all, I think the biggest mistake he made is when they got the ball back on downs on their like 28 to 32 yard line. I mean, the other team's 28 to. And there was 3+ minutes left in the game. I would have put the field goal team on right then and there. Boom, get that field goal with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game, and get it for a 1-score game. I thought that was a huge mistake, not just putting the field goal team right on there, because they wound up losing yardage on that whole shit. I mean, really. And plus, if he would have gone for at least 2 more field goals, they could have won that game.
Sure.
He really screwed that up. That was bad. I saw Quinnen last night. I saw him get some get those bull rushes.
Oh yeah.
He looked good. He looked
very good.
He looked he looked rested. Look, I know he's not on like a Super Bowl team this year. That poor guy, he needed screw what everybody says the nastiness. That poor guy had been with us for 7 years. He gave us his all. I mean, he gave us his all. And I can understand him not wanting to do another rebuild. He's like, Jesus Christ, my career is flashing before my eyes.
Yeah.
He needed to get out of here. He really needed it.
He looked rejuvenated last night. He looked absolutely rejuvenated.
It was just a different situation, not the same old Jets, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not going to root for him, but, but personally, I'm happy for him on a personal note. Yeah. But, I'm not going to root for him, because I don't want Dallas to do good because we have their draft picks for the next 2 years.
Of course, 100%. Right, there you go.
Plus, if they could have beaten the Raiders last night, they'd have helped us with the draft pick this year.
Well, as a matter of fact, the Raiders, even though they're 2-8-2, they're behind us in the draft order. So thankfully, we were unaffected because of their strength of schedule. So the Jets still, for those who are asking for Tankathon, the Jets still pick 5th overall right now. So the Raiders loss didn't mean anything. I mean, there could have been more separation if somehow the Raiders upset the Cowboys, because that would be good for us because Raiders would get further away from us, and Dallas would have lost, which would be good for us. But still, we were unaffected by their loss, thankfully.
Yeah. As far as this benching going, it needed to happen. Jesus Christ, I don't know what we're gonna do with the kid now, though. I really don't.
That I don't know. I'm waiting for Wednesday. Tomorrow, AG, I would think, would tell us whether Fields is QB2 or QB3. I would lean towards QB3. I feel like it's just sort of over, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, here's the other thing. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You can't equate benching someone with like killing their career. You just can't, because people get benched for different reasons all the time. But I'm sure the conversation went something like this. Aaron Glenn went up to him and said, look, I got to bench you. You're just not getting it done on the field. It's not even a personal thing. I wanted you here, and you're just not doing it. Stay out of the closet. Don't cry. Go and look at film. Go look at frickin' film. Study. Get your head out of your ass and study. Because I would have said to him, I said, look, if you were me, would you bench you? If you were me, with the other 52 players on this team in the practice squad, wouldn't you have benched you? But I have to give him a little bit of credit. There were 2 really bad drops. 2 bad drops. But you know what? That happens to Joe Burrow.
Of course.
Jamar Chase will drop a pass every now and then. So you can't. You have to be able to just make complete the next pass and the next pass after that and the next play after that. I mean, you watch all these other games on TV. Everybody Every other quarterback is completing passes. Every other quarterback's getting 175 to 250 yards a game. Everybody.
Yeah.
Why not you? What is up your ass that you can't get me 175 to 225 yards per game? We have a running-based team, but I still need you to get close to 200 yards a game. Otherwise, they're just going to stack the box, and then they're going to take away the thing we're good at and the thing that you're good at. Because
I still think he can be a backup, though. So while his career here is over, I'm sure he could be a backup forever. He doesn't ruffle feathers. He's a good guy.
Great person.
Yeah. So I'm sure he can have an NFL career for the next decade if he wants to.
Here's the thing. He's a great person, and he's a great football player. He's not a good quarterback. So
sure, that's a way
ask
to put
him
it.
Say, what can we do to keep you on the field? What do we have to do to keep you as a professional football player in the NFL? What do we have to do? Quarterback's not your position. Do you want to play, running back? Do you want to play, fullback or something, wide receiver? What do you want to play? Because it's just not working where you're at. So we got to figure something out because the kid does have talent. You don't want to throw those legs away. You just don't want to throw those legs away because he's really good. And he's really good. He's elusive, too. So, he's a good runner.
I hope they keep using him. Again, if I was the offensive coordinator, Justin Fields, sure, you're benched. You're not a starting quarterback anymore. But we have a package of plays that you're going to be the quarterback of running RPOs, running read options, just running it. I would use all that, yeah.
The other thing is for getting a quarterback next year, we got to get a veteran. We have to get a veteran that's going to go with whomever we decide to draft. Even if we take a flyer on a third-round pick.
Sure.
I wouldn't put all my eggs in a basket on a first or second rounder. Maybe a second rounder if someone decent drops.
Yeah.
But on a first rounder, no way. We have too many holes. Like I said, we got more holes in this team than a $5 whore. So we've got to fill some holes with some good players. We got to figure something out. Maybe even if we have a really super high top 3 pick, we trade back to like 6 or something like that and get a position player and maybe more picks for 27.
Sure. That'd be a way to do it. Yeah.
But as far as our veteran quarterback, these are the 2 guys that I would go for because they fit our scheme the best. And I know people are going to say they suck or this and that. No, fuck that. These guys fit the scheme. We don't have to change anything. Mariota, he's not the greatest. I get that. But as far as a bridge quarterback, he'd be fine as a bridge quarterback and a teacher. And the other one is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was a 2-time Pro Bowler. He was a Rookie of the Year. He's got skills. He's got talent. Maybe he's their Quinnen Williams. He needs a change of pace. He needs a fresh start.
I like that.
You cannot write this stuff off because it takes too long sometimes, especially on a team like the Jets, who don't have. When we were talking about the guy who's the quarterback coach, he never even played fucking quarterback. And everywhere he's been one and done. Same like our defensive coordinator, one and done. Yeah. We don't have good guys. We were doing it right with Saleh. It's not Saleh's fault. It's not Zach Wilson's fault that Greg Knapp got killed in that bike accident. That was just like the most tragic thing that could ever happen to this franchise. We are snake bit.
Yeah.
We're not a horrible team. We are a snake bit team. Totally snake bit. I'm down with that part. Anyway, I'm going to get off the phone. I got to drive and I got to use my GPS. So have a good day, guys.
There he is. Easy. Some interesting thoughts. I liked Marcus Mariota coming out of the draft. He was in the 2015 draft over a decade ago. Coming out of Oregon, a wonderful player. And again, similar to Fields in this respect that he seems to be, outside of whatever the weird thing that happened in Atlanta where he may or may not have quit on the team. They are going to have to do the research on that one. But he seems like a really good guy outside of whatever weird happened in Atlanta. So Mariota is interesting. Again, these names aren't going to titillate the senses, but, I looked ahead a little bit on the veteran quarterbacks who are available straight up as free agents. Yikes. Don't look great. But, hey, mysteries and surprises happen all the time. We'll see what happens. Folks, make sure you guys like the video. We have over 100 people in the room on YouTube. Guys, hit that like button right there. It's free to do. That's a free way to contribute to the show. If you love it, hate it, or anything in between, we'd love to see it. All right, more phone calls. Up next, Mr. Famous Fulton here on the program. What's up, Mr. Famous? You're on mute, Mr. Famous. Yeah, you'll have to hit that button for yourself. Nope, still on mute.
Hang on.
There we go.
Hang on a second. There we go. How are you? How are you doing, Paul?
Blessed. I woke up this morning. Not too shabby.
Yeah. I'm just tired today. I stayed up late last night and had that rehearsal yesterday.
Of course. How'd that go?
Went pretty well. I made a little mistake. So.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I have to be on the rain scene,
Sure.
and I had to be on the platform, and so I had to turn and face Don Lockwood for that splashing scene. So
Sure.
I still gotta work on that.
Okay, that's all right. Practice makes perfect. That's what rehearsals are for, man.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
It sure is.
So
I
keep
got another
grinding, keep
performance.
grinding. You got
I
this.
gotta do another rehearsal tonight, and then Wednesday, and then the show on Thursday.
Okay, great. You still have time. Still have time to perfect it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Make sure you do it. You know you're going to be killing it for all of us, man, out there in the universe. So we're going to be rooting for you, pal.
Yep. I heard you going to Notre Dame for Indiana.
Yes, I'm going to be right around the corner from you. So we'll see if I run into you out there. Yes, I'm flying in on Thursday night.
Yeah. It's at Noblesville if you want to make it up there.
Would you say that one more time?
It's in Noblesville, Indiana. That's where the musical is going to happen.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll see if all the dots align there. That'd be cool. So, hello, Mr. Lockwood.
Yep. So hopefully our Colts could win this year. Because I know.
Who do they got this week? They got a good opponent this week, right? Who do they got?
They've got Jonathan Taylor. He's going to be still in. We got Daniel Jones still. I'm not sure about Saucy Gardner yet, but hopefully he's going to be good.
They got
we got the Chiefs. Yes.
A good game. Okay. Yeah, I'm rooting for the Colts. I want them to smack around Kansas City. Yeah.
Yep. So, we'll be ready for them.
All right. Well, God bless Mr. Fulton. Again, don't worry about a hiccup. Hiccups happen all the time. I have them every day on this show, for Pete's sake. Just power through it, buddy, and you're going to be just fine.
I sure will, Paul. Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you in Indiana sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thursday, excuse me.
Yeah. I'll be there. So I'm flying in on Thursday. I leave Sunday morning at the ass crack of dawn for Jets back. So, hey, maybe our stars will align. If so, I'll make sure we take a picture for the Boy Green Coffee Club. Wouldn't that be something? Again, we got over 100 people in the room. Keep it coming. Let's go to the phone lines. Up next, Mr. Dave Briga, baby. Legend.
Paul, how's the single life doing?
Okay. It's weird. I'm going to be honest. Just being here like a bachelor for 2 weeks by myself, it's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
What are you going out? Are you going out for breakfast every day or what?
No, I should have, to be honest. I only went out. I've only left this house 2 or 3 times. I went out yesterday for a roast beef sandwich. I'm a big roast beef sandwich guy, so I went out to the local sandwich shop, got that. I went out to breakfast once. I do that every Sunday. I go out to a local diner here, so I went out for that. And then one other time I went out for something else. It was probably food related, and that was the only time. Besides that, I've been a crab. I've just been inside this house doing Jets work. So.
Well, 2 weeks will go by pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Time flies. We hear that, I've been around this team for a long time. Time. Just like Bob, most of the time on Friday, I want to call in, but we do a lot of things on Friday morning, so it's really hard.
Okay.
Anyway, a lot of these guys, they don't understand our past, how we developed from, there's probably Bob and myself. I don't know how many others were around for the AFL era. Okay.
Sure, right. Yeah.
It's hard for these guys to relate to it. I get it. I get it. You can't relate to something you never saw. That's the problem. Most of these guys, they don't believe it unless they saw it. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
But that's why we have history books. That way we have video. That's why we have films. They don't lie on those things.
They do not.
Everybody's got the negative attitude. They think that this era is better or the past year. Yeah, they have to have a balance of everything, you know. And here's the deal about the New York Jets. If you didn't have a favorite team growing up, right?
Yeah.
And if you were looking at the AFL and at the NFL, you would have seen this. A league that tried to establish itself with players that got the boot for the most part. And a lot of those players were black players that developed in the AFL. Speed developed in the AFL. You just go back and look at some of those players, you know. I mean, they were just, I mean, the guys on the Chiefs, you know, I mean, so many, you know, even guys like Lance Allward, who was, I mean, these guys, you know, these guys developed. They were speedy, you know. I chose the New York Jets because number one, I used to watch the Buffalo Bills. We used to have an antenna on our roof right here in northeastern Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
We used to watch the old Buffalo Bills. But you know,
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
yeah, really, Jim. You know, really, I mean, Cookie Gilchrist, names like that. I mean, guys,
I love that.
you know,
Yeah.
guys wouldn't understand. Okay, so we see Joe Namath get drafted from the Jets, right? And for us younger guys, you know, who were really into that type of lifestyle at that particular time in the '60s, you know, we were coming out of rebellious times, you know, the Vietnam War. And Joe Namath was like, if you like sports, you're either established guy or, you know, you're a guy who's jumping on the, you know, a new generation of players. And that's what we saw there. We saw Joe Namath coming in. He was the start of a new generation of players. And for him to do what he did, right, with the whole team, you know, it was a team effort. You know, it wasn't just Joe Namath, but Joe Namath was, you know, it was Weeb Ewbank, Joe Namath, the catalyst, you know, and our owner. The owner was a terrific owner, Sonny Werblin. You know, he was an entertainment guy. And Bob will tell you that. But Bob with the book, I don't want to project myself knowing more than he does because he has all the facts. I only know what I saw, what happened on the field. Okay, all right. So they go to, you know, they used to battle against the Raiders, the Chiefs. Joe Namath took beatings, one beating after the other. Came into the league with a leg, with his knee.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, it was torn up. He played the last part of the '64 season with a torn ACL.
Wow.
Just barely lost to Texas in the Orange Bowl '65. All right. What he did on one leg practically is unbelievable. And guys
he ended up being the first overall pick of the 1965 draft in the AFL. Yeah.
His leg, those old surgeries, take a look at some of those knees from the old, take a look at Jim Otto. See that guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
I mean, the concussions, the knee injuries, you know, these guys, they were blood and guts players. I mean, okay. So coming back to our team.
Sure.
The guys just got to realize there's no such thing as a curse. It's just been ineptness, you know, throughout the years. I mean, bad fortunes, whatever you want to call. But some of the takes on Joe Namath have been terrible recently, you know, thinking that if his demise would bring us victories, you know.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. There's this guy, and I don't, you know, for these guys to say it's a joke, he's doubling down on actually, you know, it's not a joke when it's inappropriate behavior. I
agree.
You know, just to put it out there that a man should perish and that we are going to gain victory from that. There's a guy in multiple chats. I'm not going to say his name because we all know who he is. And he doubled down last week on the fact, number one, the curse. And the only way to eliminate the curse is by Joe Namath's demise. Ultimately, 6 foot under. You know, it's a terrible take. It's just inappropriate behavior.
I agree.
You know, so just guys, don't you know? The team just got to build itself up, right? Now we got all these draft choices. We need a quarterback. We just don't blow all those choices on one quarterback. We got to build a team. We got, you know, we got an offensive line built. Now we have to go out and get offensive players. That's the way the league. This is the way the league is going. You don't have an offense, forget about it. You're cooked. You're gonna have the best defense in the world. What happens? Between the penalties and not be able to attack the quarterback, just the way the game is played today. You can't play. You know, these guys, quarterbacks can't play a guy man up and battle all the way down the field. Next thing you know, they're at the goal line because they threw a 50-yard pass and he's right there. You can't. It's not the old days, you know.
Mhm.
That's why a guy like Sauce Gardner was expendable. You know, I mean, really, you can't. Defense doesn't win it anymore. You know, the old adage, yeah, it won in the big games. You had to play defense, but it just throughout the season, how long the season is today, the way offense is, we just need to build our offense, and we need it with those draft picks. And we need a quarterback. So Muji's made some great deals here. I think he's the one that I think he's the man that's negotiating. He's doing all the ground level work, so we got to give him credit. I don't think Glenn's he's giving the okay because we know he's the final say.
Right.
But we just got to hope Moot is the guy that he is picking, you know.
Yeah.
And then if they get the guy, what's our always number one problem? Developing the quarterback.
100%.
Developing. We have to be able to develop this guy, whoever they get, because we've seen it too often, you know. We see that the quarterbacks go by the wayside. The last couple just atrocious, you know, between Sam Darnold and Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
We and this last one, Fields. I mean, the guy's a nice fellow, but he's, you know, you could say he's a good football player, but I mean, you're only a football player if you look like a football. He's very too passive. I don't know if he's afraid of getting hit. I don't know, but I mean, he made his own bed here. I mean, there's nobody to blame but himself.
Correct.
And he's getting replaced by the paper mache quarterback, so you know he's not going to be in there long. I mean, it's not going to happen. So you're going to see Cook sooner than you can imagine. You know, I've seen too much of this Taylor over the years. I mean,
we all have.
I saw him at Tampa. He threw a couple good passes. Next time we're in the game, he throws that pick a minute before halftime.
Terrible.
We were cooked. It was the worst throw I've seen in years from a quarterback. A veteran
late into the left. Come on, man. You're a veteran. You know that's on the quarterback 101 things not to do. Late into the left.
I was sitting right where that kid was, and I saw him come across the field on that pick, and I said I could have picked one and taken it to the house.
Yeah.
Then I heard those. Next thing I knew, I heard those Bucks cannons blowing off in my ears. It was disgrace. In 104-degree heat down there. It was nuts. I mean, the meetup was great. The game, I mean, we suffered. Our fans suffered on it. Halftime, they were taking them under the stands. It was crazy.
I imagine, though, being there for that crazy Will McDonald play must have been absolutely surreal. And
we saw the Glenn dance. We saw the first.
Yeah. I love that. Good energy.
Yeah. So. We just have hope, right? We have to have hope for the future.
That's it.
Don't give up. Never give up, guys. Never give up. And don't believe that nonsense that occurs, please.
There you go.
And the guy that tried to curse my man Joe Willie, you got to repent, my friend. You got to repent.
100%. Get the hell out of here. We love it, Dave.
Yeah, you got a good show. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much. There he is, the legend, Dave Briga. I'll tell you this, the curse thing and offing name, that's like so disgusting. Absolutely not. No part of that. Thank you very much. Hell, I'd love to interview. I'm lucky enough right here. Shout out to my pop, one of Joe Namath's books, All the Way. My Life in 4 Quarters. I knew 4 Quarters was in there somewhere. That's an autographed copy of Joe Namath's book. I love that. I'm glad that I have that. That Joe at one point held that book and autographed it. I'd love to interview Joe Namath. He's 100% on my list. I've got a beautiful Super Bowl III Joe Namath jersey sitting in that closet, and I've only brought it out of the closet in very rare circuit. It's such a treasured jersey. I want to wear it more, but I also don't want to ruin it or have anything happen to it. So it's a beautiful jersey, and I do have that in the closet too. That is an absolutely AFL throwback. Oh, it's terrific. It's absolutely a beautiful jersey there. So no, Joe Namath, love Joe. I just saw an interview. He just did an interview recently with the name's going to escape me, but he just did a full sit-down interview with, I think it was Graham Basinger. Anywho, whoever it was, just did an interview talking about all kinds of things. So no, Joe Namath forever, man. I love Joe. He is an absolute legend. Again, over 100 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We go back to the phone lines from one OG to another. Neil Sr. graces us with his presence. Neil?
Good morning, Paul. One Punch Burger I am one of the guys that saw the old timers. So
okay, there you go. You're
with
added to the
Booger.
list. Yes.
I saw it all. And you know, one thing you mentioned, the AFL was a throwing league, and that's really where, you know, it was everything prior in the NFL was ground and pound, and you know, then Daryl LaMonica and all these guys came in and they started chucking the ball all over the field, and that's how it all started. And it didn't work in the beginning, but Joe Namath made it work. And ironically enough, he didn't throw many passes in the Super Bowl. In the second half, I don't think he threw a single pass.
Right, that's crazy.
I mean, you know, but that's the way it works. Anyhow, did you talk to your dad about Quinn's the game last night, or you didn't talk to him?
I did, and I will read it to you in just a second. Here, let me give a shout out. Jared B gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Thank you, Jared. Maybe we could start a train here. So Jared B, thank you so much for that membership. Another raffle ticket for you. You guys keep those memberships coming. Again, this beautiful Marty Lyons jersey. Autographed Marty Lyons jersey and autographed Marty Lyons hat. Shout out to Carl for sending that in. We're giving that away on December 1st. Yes, so my pop, he sent in text. He texted me last night. What did he say again? Oh, yeah, he said, I have a message for the coffee club. Yeah, that Quinnen Williams guy is definitely washed up. He exceeded his stats for the entire year with the Jets in just one grade. I do agree, ESPN, because ESPN gave the Cowboys an F grade. He says, I agree. It was definitely an F. An F for fucking fantastic. I'm not calling you out, but there are several members of the coffee club that said he was washed up and talking trash. That's not what I saw. And he had a lot of other things of that nature.
Well, let's be real.
Okay. Yeah.
Quinnen Williams did not want to be here, and he played like he didn't want to be here. Okay? The guy played like shit. He had one sack, a couple pressures. He got pushed all over the field.
Yeah.
And he really didn't have – he wasn't getting double teamed yesterday. I saw a little of his play.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't doing much. I mean, he had one sack, and the rest of it was garbage. You know, look.
Well, the one thing I will say is this. So he had 1.5 sacks, so that's more than what he had with the Jets. And also he had 5 QB pressures in whatever it was, either the first quarter or first half. That's the most a Cowboys defensive tackle has had in 7 years. And that was more than Quinnen had the entire season. He had that in the first half. More than he only had 3 the entire season.
He was probably not double teamed. I mean,
perhaps maybe that was it.
Winning one-on-one with look, it's all about effort. I mean, the bottom line is I'm not happy for him because you know what? He dogged it for us for all this year. He didn't do it. I watched his games. He went through it like a practice. He got pushed around. He had no pressures. He had 1 sack. That's not effort, Paul. That's garbage. Okay. And when a guy doesn't give us 100% effort, I have no sympathy. I'm not wishing him good wishes at all. These guys make enough money.
Sure.
We don't need to give him good wishes goodbye. And that's the end of it. On to the next. That's how I feel about it. He had 1 good game, and we'll see. But he's not certainly worthy of what the bag we got for him. I don't.
Oh yeah,
do a hell of a lot more. You know. Hey. Let me just say this to you. Who's doing better? Let's see at the end of 5 games. I want to see who's doing better. Micah Parsons or Quinnen Williams. Let's see who's doing better after 5 games. Put the measuring stick up, and we'll have that argument with your dad 5 weeks from now.
I'm sure you'll.
I know what that answer is going to be. That's for shit sure. Micah Parsons affects games. Okay. Anyhow, Ed is a funny guy, but you know, I was all over the Kyle Murray thing. I think I started the rumor.
Okay.
And
nice.
all that, but I'm off of it now because his contract is super duper rich.
Well, if he gets cut, he's going to sign for the veteran minimum, and there's a lot of insiders that believe he could just straight up get cut.
Well, all right. If he's cut, I would like to have him, okay? But there's really 2 bridges that I think will be better suited for us, and it's not about scheme. I mean, our scheme, you know, Angstrom had to create a scheme for Justin Fields. We he worked under Goff's scheme for how many years? You know,
Yeah, right.
If you get a quarterback like Jared Goff, I'm sure he'd be happier than creating
Perhaps.
something for a running quarterback.
Right.
It's not easy to do. So my thoughts are, one, I like Mac Jones. I'm a Mac Jones guy only because I think he's matured a lot. He's still under contract with the 49ers. I don't know if we can get him. We'd have to give up something to get him.
Right, to trade for him, correct.
But you're not talking about, look, if Murray is on the team and we want him, we're going to have to give up a lot for him, and then the money is going to be ridiculous. Okay, Mac Jones is on a really friendly contract.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's dirty.
You know what I mean? And we know one thing: we know he's going to play his ass off to beat the Patriots twice a year.
That's true. He's intrinsically motivated for
look,
that.
here's what it comes down to, Paul.
Okay.
It comes down to the trenches.
Yeah.
If your team has a good offensive line and a good defensive line, but let's talk about offense. If you have a good offensive line, you need a better than average quarterback that's going to get rid of the ball, that's going to check it down, do what he needs to, and throw a few long passes here and there. And certainly Mac Jones is capable of doing that. Another quarterback, very capable, Jacoby Brissett is a very capable guy. I thought he was much older, and again, he's under contract, but Jacoby Brissett set a record for completions the other day with 47.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
I mean, this guy, he's only 32. I thought he was like 36 or something.
Yeah, he's been around the league forever, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. He's big. He can move when he needs to move. He makes completions. He had a nice comeback win against us with the Patriots last year, if we all remember. It was not a happy day there. Okay, he needed a drive to win a game, and he did it. He's a guy I would really look at. Obviously, you got Gardner Minshew. I mean, certainly we all will love to have Joe Burrow, but
sure, of course.
That's pie in the sky, Paul. You think?
Yeah, probably. Hey, by the way, I see this a T-Town Jet membership. Hey, man.
Get these memberships in.
Yeah, let's go. Come on now, Neil.
That's it, man. Bring some money into the house here.
I
Into
need
the
to pay
Paulie
that washer and
household.
dryer, for God's sakes. I still
There
owe
you
another
go.
grand plus on it. So as many
All right.
memberships as possible, I could chip away at that thing, for God's sake. So yes.
So that's just that's what I had to say. I hope everybody look, we'll be fine. We got some games coming up. Oh, based on the offensive line, I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Typical bad offensive line is what we saw last night with the Raiders.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Jesus
And what
Christ.
does Geno Smith look like behind a bad offensive line?
Not good.
He looked like the Geno Smith on the Jets, didn't he?
He looked just like that one, yeah.
Yeah. And guess what? What did Sammy Boy Darnold look like the
Oof.
other night when he got some pressure on him?
Oof.
What did he do the other night, Paul? 4 picks?
Four picks.
Yeah. Why, Paul?
Should have had
Because he was
5.
getting-
One of them got dropped. So,
Right. Because he was getting pressured.
Yeah.
When these guys get pressured, the best quarterbacks in the world are going to look very ordinary. And one thing, the irony about Justin Fields is he's doing all this and he's really not getting pressured.
Right.
Paul.
That's right. That's worse.
You know,
That's
you
much
know what I'm
worse.
saying? He's
Yeah.
not under duress every time he drops back.
No.
Sam, look, Zach Wilson, okay? I remember seeing a picture of Zach Wilson running in a Miami game, and there were 3 Miami guys chasing him with the offensive line behind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
3 guys
Yeah.
having a full shot at Zach Wilson as he was scrambling for his life. I'm telling you right now, if Sam Wilson was under center right now with that offensive line,
Yeah.
he'd be doing. And I hate Zach Wilson. Okay, I
Sure.
hate to
Right.
even mention his mouth, his name out of my mouth. It gives it a bad taste. However, he would be doing much, much better than what Justin Fields is doing with the same offensive line because he could get rid of the ball. He was throwing with some accuracy. When he had time, I harkened back to that Kansas City Chiefs game. They gave him time, and, man, he ripped it. But that's quarterback doesn't have to be – we're going to draft one, obviously.
Of course. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And let's not get by that. And hopefully we pick the right one. But a good bridge with a great offensive line and the amount of money we have to spend to, and the draft capital we have, we should be a playoff contender next year. That's the minimum of what we should expect. If you expect anything less, what the hell are we doing here? I mean, we're here to, everybody can make the playoffs. If Vrabel could turn the Patriots around, and everybody's giving them all kinds of kudos, and granted they have a quarterback,
sure,
but they don't have anything great defensively. Paul, who would you like to see replace Wilkes? Give me a name, because I think
my
he's
goodness.
smart.
Well, give me Jim Leonard, our former Jet. He's out there in Denver. I'd love for him to come on home over here. He's got connections to Sean Payton. AG has connections to Sean Payton, so that would make a lot of sense. And it'd be a promotion. Jim Leonard, the defensive coordinator. Sign him up.
I like experienced guys.
Okay.
I like a Wink Martindale, somebody like that.
Oh, wow. He's out in Michigan, right? Or where is he at? He's in college, isn't he? Let me see. Where's Wink?
Yeah,
right
where
now?
is he? He was a good D coordinator, Wink.
Where was? Oh, yep. I don't need Wink Martindale, the TV host. No.
All right,
Wink
and I
Martindale.
got another one too. The guy that's going to get fired from.
Yes, he's the defensive coordinator at Michigan right now. I thought that's where he was at.
All right, so he's a prospect. He
Sure.
has a lot of NFL experience as a D coordinator.
Yeah.
The guy that's going to get fired, what's the Raheem Morris?
Atlanta Falcons. Yes. Yep. I've heard that name. Yeah.
If they fire him, I'm sure there's a defensive minded coach that's going to get the axe this year.
Sure. That could happen too. We see it all
I
the
heard
time.
Buffalo already picked up Dable. Is that true?
No, I haven't heard that at all. Let me see.
I heard they picked him up. He's working upstairs as some kind of an assistant already. That's what somebody told me. I'm not positive, but I heard.
I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't
No?
look like it. Nope. Yeah. I
Somebody
don't
said
see
he
anything.
got scooped up by Buffalo and he's working as like an assistant coordinator. I don't know, some bullshit. I don't know. I heard that, but I'm not sure if it's true.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything out there in the universe. So that could be a rumor or something, but I don't see anything. Yeah.
So the reality is we have to get a new D coordinator.
Yeah.
What's his name? Angstrom's going to have to show me something the rest of the year. Okay. Granted,
Well, now we
blame
got
him.
a chance with Tyrod. Now let's see, because he can throw the football. I'm not expecting MVP, but Tyrod can throw a football. Let's see these game plans. Justin couldn't throw the football. It's impossible to throw Tanner Angstrom. So now we can through the final, whatever.
This is going to be the kind of this is going to be a true offensive game plan with Tyrod
Yeah.
to see what we can do. Maybe the next 2 or 3 games, and then we're going to see Brady Cook. We got to see
That's
Brady
it.
Cook at some
100%.
point,
100%.
and then we'll see what he does. If he can't perform if we can't score with Tyrod, with our offensive line and whatever we have left to win at least 2 or 3 games, because our competition's not going to be great the rest of
Right.
the rest of the year. We have at least 4 winnable games that we're not going to be huge underdogs in.
Okay.
And let's go at least 2. In those 4 games, let's at least go 2-2. If we go 2-2, then he's doing his job. If
All
we
right.
don't, then Angstrom might hang out in the wind just like everybody else.
All right, we'll see what happens.
care.
Neil, thanks, brother. And there you go. You heard it there from Neil. Let those memberships fly, baby. Send them on in. Let's go. Raffle tickets are flying all over the place. Again, 2 beautiful prizes this month. An autographed Marty Lyons jersey comes with a certificate of authenticity signed off to the Boy Green Coffee Club. It's beautiful. We'll be sending this out on December 1st. Well, we'll be picking the winner on December 1st and then sending it out shortly thereafter. If you want a chance to win this, it costs $3. And not only do you get this jersey, you also get an autographed Marty Lyons hat that our good buddy Carl donated to the raffle. So you get the autographed hat and the autographed jersey. Again, to potentially win both those prizes, $3. $3 wouldn't even pay for the shipping for those 2 things. And yet you have a chance to potentially win them both. So enjoy it out there in the universe. Keep those raffle tickets coming. We'd appreciate it. Back to the phone line. Speaking of Carl, here he is gracing us with his presence. What's up, Carl?
Hey, Boy Green, how you doing today?
Excellent, man. Good to see you.
You know, this has been getting pretty bad over the years. Joe Namath has been so disrespected
Yep.
over the years. How many times have I heard people say he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, I hear that all the time from
You
people,
know-
and it annoys me.
Joe Namath, you name one quarterback throughout history that was the icon that Joe Namath is. The guy was he was a movie star. The guy he did commercials. I mean, the guy every kid knew who Joe Namath was.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's sad. It's sad. I mean, the man is, in his 80s. And I just, instead of his legend growing, it seems like he's being diminished all the time. And, if I hear one more person say he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame, I mean, that's just insane, And I got to tell you something. I never actually met Joe Namath, but I'll tell you what kind of a person Joe Namath was. When I was living in Florida many years ago, I used to go down to Tequesta where Joe Namath lived. And, just thought maybe I'd catch a glimpse of him somewhere. And I never did, but I had a person I knew that worked in Publix grocery store.
I love Publix. I used to go there all the time.
Okay, so listen to this. So the guy said to me, I said, yeah, I said, I wish I could just meet Joe Namath one time. And he said to me, Joe Namath comes in here all the time to the deli. I said, would you do me a favor? He said, yeah. I said, if I give you my helmet, would you ask Joe to sign it? So a couple of weeks later, I go back down there and he said to me, hey, I got something for you. And I want to show you this. This is what a man should. Okay. Can you see that little helmet?
Yeah, of course.
That says, hey, Carl, good luck, pal. Joe Namath, number 12.
So cool. Wow.
So, that is something that I don't know if there's many quarterbacks or NFL players now that are out there that would take the time to do that. That's personal to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a signed Joe Namath throwback jersey, but that's something I bought,
Yeah.
But this is something that's very personal to me. And I just don't think that, there's somebody that would just, when the guy didn't know me, he just knew I was a fan. And he took the time to, put my name there and call me a pal.
That's cool.
And it means a lot to me. That's all I got to say. And people should stop diminishing Joe Namath because the man is a historical figure in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. An absolute icon. Carl, thanks for sharing that story, man.
No problem.
Appreciate it. There he is. Carl joining us here on the program. And again, Carl donated this hat. I'll show it on screen again. He donated, speaking of autographs, he donated this beautiful Marty Lyons autograph. This was his, and he donated it to the raffle for this month to go along with the jersey that's right here as well. Super cool. Carl, a very big gifter, and I appreciate that so much. So we have the beautiful Marty Lyons collection. The Marty Lyons collection. Again, if you want a chance to win that, keep those memberships coming, baby. Keep those freaking memberships coming. That's great. Like I said, I also have an autograph piece for Joe Namath. That book is an autograph copy. That's cool that Joe Namath at one point held that book. I've never met Joe Namath, but like I said, one day I hope to interview him. That would be an absolute treat. Joe seems like such a cool guy, man. Joe cool. And again, of course he's an icon. He's a Hall of Famer, man. He trailblazed for so many other quarterbacks that are here today. Without Joe, I mean, what are we even talking about? Over 100 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Let's get another caller in. We'll be on for a little bit longer. Johnny Boy here on the program. Johnny, good morning.
What up, brother? Good morning, man. How you holding up?
Hey, Jets worldwide, wide.
Hell yeah, man. We back this Friday. Hey.
Oh yeah, nice.
Wasn't Joe Namath like the first player to get paid like a crap load of money back in those days? And that's what really started having a lot more players start getting paid a lot.
Of course, yeah. So the money, of course, that was the negotiations from the AFL, NFL of Jets getting him. Number two, he was, and people will save this for your trivia night, the first quarterback in NFL history to ever throw for 4,000 yards was Joe Namath. He did that in 1967, and he did that in a 14-game season. So he did that before anyone else, and somehow through the trails of history, we have never had another 4,000-yard passer, which is crazy. But hey, the Bears don't even have one in their history. Caleb Williams may break that this year. I have no idea what his stats are this year, but I'm sure maybe he'll break that this year for the Bears to finally have one. But yeah, Joe Namath is a legend, man. He's a legend.
Wasn't he playing with no knees?
He was, yeah. As who told that story? Dave Briga, about the knees that blew out at Alabama before he even ever drafted / signed with the Jets. He had those bum knees in college, so 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand the whole like the hate towards Namath and him not being a Hall of Fame. That's bugged out to whoever's saying that. That dude, like you just said, he trailblazed that position to make it be cool. I mean, back in the days, right? All it was everybody had the, the real high fade with the buzz cut and all of that stuff like that. My man put on white shoes. Everybody started wanting to do that, So I don't know, man. I mean, I know it's stupid that I'm talking about like this dude did put on white shoes and something like that, but it wasn't.
But hey, he was a ladies' man. I mean, he was what men wanted to be him, women wanted to be with him. So I mean, it was terrific. Yeah.
So, but real quick stuff that I want to talk to you. The Quinnen Williams stuff, right? Hey, good for him.
Sure.
It is what it is, but it's on site now. We played the Cowboys ever again. Hey, it was one game, right? Like,
sure.
It was one game.
Against the Raiders.
Against the Raiders.
Right. That's fair.
Let's see how he does against when they play the Eagles. Let's see how he does when he starts playing against those.
Well, I think their next two games, I might be wrong. It's their next two. I can double check this in a second, but they've got the Eagles and Chiefs. I'm pretty sure those are the next two up. The Chiefs are on Thanksgiving, and then you have that Eagles game. So, like, damn, they got some tough ass games coming up. Let's see how they perform in those games.
Exactly. So I came on because the Tyrod situation.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I'm pretty hyped for it. I hope Tyrod does really well. I hope
Me too.
that they do open up the book and we start seeing a lot more plays.
For sure.
And maybe we'll see more of Arian Smith, more of what AD Mitchell could potentially be, and Mechie, right?
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with you, man, depending on how this goes, I really do hope that they shut down Garrett Wilson for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Save that dude, but that's just my opinion in regards to that. I don't know if that happens, but let me ask you this. Are you completely punting on the season now, or are you wanting them to win as much games as they can?
I want them to win as many games as they can. Again, everyone can. Same thing we talked about with the Quinnen thing. Some fans are like, fuck Quinnen. Others are like, root for Quinnen. Wherever. I don't give a shit where you stand. You can stay wherever you want. For me, I want to win games. AG is not some lame duck coach. It's not he's going to get fired at the end of the year and all we want is a draft pick. Aaron Glenn is in his first year. He's going to be here a while. Spoiler alert to the Jet fans out there. I want him to continue to win games, establish his culture, do all that stuff. So I'm all for wins. And again, if they lose, all right, we get a better draft pick. So either way, to me, it's a win-win. I'm going to be rooting like crazy in this Ravens game for Tyrod to kick Baltimore's ass and ruin their playoff chances. But I want nothing more than that in the universe. So that's what I'll be rooting for. And go to Week 18 against Buffalo. I'll be rooting for a win there too. Now, would that help us to get a win? Maybe not, but I don't care. Like, let's stack them up here. So yeah, I want Tyrod to do stuff. I want Adonai Mitchell to make big plays. There's all these players I'm rooting for on both sides of the ball. So hell yeah, I'm still rooting for wins.
And the fact that we still got 1%, baby, 1%. That's all we need, man. Hey, call me crazy, call me nuts, whatever. But I love this damn team, and if there's a way, hey, let's try to go ahead and get at BG. I mean, shit, but
playoffs? Are you talking about the playoffs?
Hey, you never know, man. Hey, shout out to OG BG. You know, that's what I'm gonna call him, your grandpa, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That was his. That's believe it or not, OG is on his gravestone. He passed away a couple years ago, and I don't know if my father's ever told this story anywhere. But OG for I don't know what other people think that stands for. You know, that could stand for something else. For us, we used to call him the old goat. So OG. when my father went to put the gravestone together, and there's a whole process to that, they went, the people that do that cemetery stuff were like, oh, gee, whoa, we can't be doing any of that around here. And my dad's like, what? Why? They're like, original gangster? He's like, no, old goat. Not original. He wasn't gang banging out in the streets, man. No, this is just old goat. They're like, okay, we'll do it. But yeah, that was a whole thing when my dad was putting that together, which is crazy. But yeah, the old goat, OG, baby.
That's funny, dude. Hey, look, man, I want to win.
Yeah.
I hope we do win. I know people are going to be upset about that, and because
we
my
got
bad.
you back. Go
Can you
ahead,
hear me?
Johnny. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I want to win, dude. At the end of the day, and if we could win against these games that we're not supposed to, are they meaningless? Probably. But I mean, dude, you have to win for the locker room, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to win for the young cats that need that mentality to continue to keep winning and say we're building onto something. So then when it comes to next year, lastly, this is what I wanted to ask you. What was your thoughts on Jameis Winston, on his play with the Giants this weekend?
Yeah, I love Jameis Winston's quotes. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. He scores passing touchdowns, throws interceptions, and fumbles. That's just, hey, man, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. Blessed be he does, Jameis Winston. If he's available, I know he's under contract too in the same way that Mac Jones is, or where he could be traded. Jameis Winston would be a fun one, man. If we're just saying like, let's say they don't draft the Fernando Mendoza or whoever, or maybe they even do. Like, and you're just saying, fuck it, we need somebody for 2026. Yo, Jameis, you in? I'm in, baby. Like, let's go. Let's fuck it up and throw a bunch of deep bombs to Garrett Wilson. Let's go fucking have a ball, man. I'd love nothing. That'd be awesome.
Could you imagine the pressers? You get the crowd from AG.
Oh, my God.
Right? Then next thing you know, you get Winston that comes in.
Saying crazy-ass shit. Yeah.
Talking ass crazy stuff on there, dude. It would be amazing. The only reason I say his name out there, and I know that I'm with the Trey stuff, I don't know what would it take? Probably nothing, to be honest with you, to get that guy. But who's really out there that's going to become a vet that we could? I mean, people are saying Marcus Mariota, and I'm like, what? I'm like, Gardner,
what year is it? Right? Yeah. I think we lost Johnny Boy again. Oh, we got you.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, my bad, man.
It's okay.
I'm getting phone calls like crazy today.
You're a popular man. But Johnny, I appreciate the call. And hey, let's get some famous Jameis action, baby.
Hell yeah. Peace.
There you go. There he is joining us here on the program. Yeah. Crab legs and all. Yeah, that'd be fucking wild. He is not a free agent, so you'd have to trade for him, but maybe a 5th round pick or something, a 6th round pick. I don't know, a pick swap or something. I'd be curious again. What we're going to do on this show is, I don't know if it's tomorrow, I don't know if it's Thursday, I don't know what day it's going to be. We're going to continue to go, hey, insider said this, right? And so Benjamin Albright joined the show, said, oh, Kyler Murray is a real possibility for the Jets. So we walk it out. We talk it out, say, oh, here's the contract. Here's what a trade would be. Here's this. Is this a good idea, a bad idea? We're going to do that for a lot of options for the Jets because we need to look through every one. So again, I don't know what tomorrow's show brings. I let the day happen. I write stories and all kinds of things for the Jets. We'll see whatever tomorrow's episode is going to be. We're going to keep looking through all of these different options. So we'll see who else is on the docket, but could be one of those guys. That's for sure. All right, let's wrap it up with one more phone call to finish us off here. We'll go to Indy Jets to put a final bow on this edition of Boy Green Daily. Indy?
Good morning, BG. Boy, I'm just going to piss some of these old heads off. And normally I'm one of the old heads, but you got, Briga's in there just, and some of these people just drooling over Joe Namath. And I'm sorry, Joe Namath is the 1960s and 70s Deshaun Watson. He did nothing. No. Look, if Joe Namath was playing today, he would be Deshaun Watson. He would get caught for everything that he did. Look at the drunk babbling idiot did live on TV with the reporter because he thought he could get away with shit like that. You got to quit giving Joe Namath a pass and say, oh, well, you know, he was just Broadway Joe. He could do whatever he wanted. And he had, that's the same thing that Deshaun Watson thought he could just do.
That feels like a big leap.
No, it's not.
Again,
look at the,
Joe Namath, that moment with
the things that Joe Namath did back then.
Like
if
what?
You look at
what do you mean? Who has
the womanizer? He was no smaller of a womanizer than Deshaun Watson was.
I don't know, man. The Deshaun Watson stuff and what's being alleged is some pretty dark and deep stuff. I haven't heard a lot of this Namath stuff.
Yeah, because they didn't report it back in the 60s and 70s. Now, did they?
But if you're wildly accusing him, but you say, "Hey, I know it happened, but there's no evidence that it happened." I don't know.
Other than we watched his live attitude when his drunk babbling idiot did this to a reporter.
One moment of almost kissing. Again, I'm not saying it's a great moment. One moment of drunkenly almost kissing an ESPN reporter, and that is the crazy stuff that happened with Watson.
No.
That's a big leap.
When you stop and think about it, if that man sit here and thinks that he's on live TV and he thinks that's a good idea, what else goes on behind closed doors when the TV's off? And it's just like when you're driving BG and you get away with speeding 10 times and you get caught the 11th time. Come on, Joe Namath was the biggest player, and we all know that, right?
I mean,
you can't. I mean, that's not been rumored. That is a fact. He was a big player back then.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people that date a lot of different women.
And on top of that, they didn't report near. I mean, the reporting back then was the opposite. They hid the reporters, just like in politics. They hid a lot of stuff. Now they report on everything. So no. There is a lot of reports that Joe Namath was a huge womanizer. That Joe Namath just rolled through the freaking women like nothing, and that's all documented. So come on, the only reason he's not in the same talk of Deshaun Watson is because the reporting wasn't there. It's not that he wasn't doing it. Yeah, Joe. We all have the love for Joe Namath because he won us a Super Bowl. But if he'd not won that Super Bowl, you wouldn't have the love for him, and you would see the guy for what he is.
Indy, if my sister had a dick, she'd be my brother. Okay. If you didn't win the Super Bowl, we wouldn't do this. If this didn't happen, this didn't happen. I don't know if we could just start plucking things from history and saying if we just pluck.
No, I'm saying if you take out the Super Bowl, what else great was he other than he was very flamboyant, on the sidelines, even when he wasn't winning the Super Bowl. He was very like I said, the reports are that he was a stout womanizer. Come on now. Right, Dave? You were there. You watched him.
Listen to me. You equating Joe Namath with a pervert like Watson is out of control. This guy Watson was going into massage parlors asking women for masturbation. Okay? Joe Namath never alcohol was his problem. Okay? Alcohol. He was an alcoholic. Okay? Which he, finally came to realize was destroying his life. He ruined his marriage and everything for him. Listen, I grew up in that era. I don't know how old you are, but I've seen a lot of guys suffer through things like him. He made a lot of mistakes. Listen, we all make mistakes in life, okay? He made a lot of mistakes.
What kind of mistakes? No, let's talk about him. What kind of mistakes?
What kind of mistakes? Well, hey, in that era, there was guys they had a different girlfriend every night. Okay, and you're in the heart of New York City, and you know what? In New York City, they had papers all over the place, real newspapers, not like today, fake news, and everything was being reported about Joe Namath all over the place, all over the country. So don't give us that act that there was no information being spouted about, okay? Because you really don't know. I don't know how old you are. What are you, 65?
No,
okay, I'm 74. I seen all this stuff. There was plenty of perverts in those days too. He was not a pervert. Don't equate him on the same level as a Watson. That guy was an outright pervert. Okay? Outright pervert.
All right.
You're way off base, Indy. You're way off base.
I see a lot of people want to get involved on this subject matter. I try to keep everything football. So, folks, politely, I'm going to choose to end the show here. There's a lot of people that want to get involved. I see now with the phone lines lighting up, but I think now is just a good time. You guys can discuss this on the Discord or a different direction, perhaps. But, God bless. Appreciate all the Jets conversation today. You guys can have some of those chats privately and separately. Feel free to do so. God bless. I've got some other shows to do, but I'll see you guys soon. We have Boy Green Meets Woody coming up at 3 o'clock. We'll chat once again over there. Yeah, let's just pull this car over. God bless. I love Joe Namath. You're a legend, buddy. Hall of Famer, and Jets football and everything wouldn't be the same without you. God bless and take